What's up everybody? In today's video, you're gonna be learning all the reasons how and why you can lose money on fix and flipping, especially on this house I'm standing in right here. There's 4 reasons why you could lose money. If you're not careful and you look at all these steps I'm gonna be talking about in this video, you can and you will lose money. So make sure you stay till the end. It's gonna be a lot of information. Let's get to it. What's up YouTube? Once again, this is Tommy Harr with the real side of real estate, talking about how I went from a 23-year-old home inspector to a millionaire real estate investor, all by the time I was 27 years old. In this channel, you're gonna learn how to wholesale, how to flip, how to own rental properties, and do all of these things the right way, all from the lessons from the last 7 or 8 years of my life that I've gone through, and I'm teaching you all these things right here on this channel. So before you go any farther, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you subscribe to this channel, follow along to check out the journey and the path and the rest of the videos that we're gonna be posting. So to give you guys a little bit of backstory on this property right here, we bought the house for $180,000 in Columbus, Ohio. This property sits on 4 acres. It was completely destroyed. I think we're about $130,000 into the rehab right now. In the ARV or after repair value, what we're gonna sell it for, I think is gonna be $450,000. It could be all the way to 500, it could be more, it could be less, but that's also number 1 of how you can lose money in this series is not having enough comparable sales. So before I get to that, let me show you what this property looks like, and Rob behind the camera is gonna kind of show you what this place looked like before as we're going through. So before, where the kitchen is right now, we're doing a lot of this two-tone cabinetry, so we got our black and our natural black backsplash. This before was just a living room. So this was just a big living room. It had water damage, and in here, there was a furnace closet. So our furnace used to be right here. It took up a lot of space. So what we did is we pushed that furnace up into the attic because this house does not have a basement and your ductwork is coming in through the ceiling anyway. So we just pushed that up so we can have a little bit of a dining space here, our well pump and our water heater and electrical room here. And the kitchen actually used to be right here. So the kitchen was here, it was an L, it was open. You'll see it in the before videos. This is now our 4th bedroom. So before it was a 3-bed, 2.5 bath. Now it's a 4-bed, 2.5 bath. In the back here, nothing too crazy, but we got our attached garage. We've got our half bath. The team's been liking to use these little Euro vanities. Drop a comment below if you like these or not, but it would have been in the doorway if we would have used another one. So tiny little Euro vanity. I think they're kind of cool. I'll show you guys outside, and it's also another reason how and why you can lose money if you're not paying attention. Bedroom here. There used to be a wall right here leading to the living room. So when you walk in the house, you see this beautiful kitchen. You see a nice big living space. So this property's almost done. It's just a lot of things that we've run into, and the reason we're making this video so you guys setting the right expectations for timelines on houses just like this one. Bathroom is finished nearly. So we've got our new tub, our tile. So this is our upgraded tile package in this house. You'll see. If you guys want my material list and my project tracker, go to the show notes and I'll give you guys that for free. That's how we're doing a lot of projects all at once, and we use it on every single project. So we got our upgraded vanities, we got our upgraded tile, we got our tile floors. It takes all the guessing away from your rehabs. And lastly, this bathroom used to be destroyed. It used to step up into here, and there used to be a back door right here. So what we did is we leveled it out, fixed the subfloor, and now we've got a beautiful master walk-in bathroom. Vanity, this is our upgraded tile for our master showers. We've been using this green for a little while now. It's been selling well for us. Let's talk about reason number 1 of how and why you can lose money on a house like this. So I gave you the intro and showed you what the house is for a reason, because number 1 is not having enough comparable sales. This house sits on 4 acres. It's literally in downtown Columbus, and there's just not many houses like this. This little street I didn't even know existed, and there's probably 10 to 12 houses back here, and they're all different, and none of them have sold. You have to go through context clues. You have to be conservative with your numbers. You maybe have to figure out what is the land worth and what is the house worth, kind of use combinations. You have to talk to local realtors. So instead of buying a house, a 3-bed, 1-bath in a very dense neighborhood where it's one of 100 houses that are all the same, this makes the comping way harder. And when comping is harder, the competition is usually lower because people don't like that risk factor. We've had a lot of success, but we've also lost money on houses that we've tried to go and say that they're going to be worth a lot. And the number 2 way that you can and will lose money if you don't properly budget for it are well and septics. Now this house is on 4 acres. It sits on a big plot of land, meaning usually when you're out in these rural areas, there's no public water and there's no public sewer systems, meaning you have to have private ones. A well is your water source. A septic is where your poop and your pee go into a bucket pretty much underground or a bin underground, and it then dilutes into the rest of the land. This house was built in the 60s. Very likely those are original. And this house has sit vacant for a long time. Remember, we're buying houses that need fixed up and we're solving problems. You need to do one of 2 things. You need to either budget. If you can't do an inspection, if you can do an inspection on the well and the septic, if the water's running, that's great, do it. You'll know exactly what you're getting into. But if you can't, you have to budget for the worst. If you look back behind me, this right here is a brand new well. A brand new well is not cheap. We had to dig a brand new well, so down, get our water source, and then tomorrow, and also it's winter time. So if you look at this yard, we have a pool, which we'll talk about here in a minute. We have to trench a water line all the way around and back into where that furnace closet was on the inside. So super long run. And also we got lucky that we could put the well back here. They were saying we might have to put it in the front. The inside of this property is already done. What that meant was we would have had to rip up the floors, rip up the concrete in the house, because we would have had to run the water line through the front of the house, under the floor, and excavate all of that stuff. So now we just have to stub it in the back, which is perfect. But we still are spending $15,000 to drill this well and get water to our house. And this is the reason also why people don't buy houses on well and septic, because there's a lot of unknowns and it can be pricey. So minimally trying to get an inspection, and also budget to get risers installed. So that's where you put the lids up through the ground so you can see where they're at. Budget to get it pumped and also get it inspected once you're through there. And if it's an old house like this one, a 60s house, you can also assume that's probably gonna be original. Go to your health records, your city department, go to the health department. That'll also have records if it's been replaced. If it says it's not, you can likely imagine that it's original. A septic will last like 75 years probably max, so you have to get that inspected. This house right here, the septic is okay, but we had to spend a lot of time to locate it, put risers in it, and get a new aeration pump. So that's gonna cost us about 5,000 bucks to do all those things. So between well and septic, that's $20,000 of stuff that we had to account for. And if we're running on a thin margin, let's say we want to make $40,000 in a flip and we didn't account for this, we would have lost money. Also with these 2 things right here, it can take a lot of time. So getting in the health department, getting ready to drill a well, locating a septic, you never know how long it's going to take. And if you have to replace a septic system, you can also budget $20,000 to $25,000 to replace that entire system. It's expensive, it's tedious. That is reason number 2. And reason number 3 is this beautiful thing right behind me. This is a pool. So I'm going to make this a general comment about pools, additional structures on a property like sheds, like detached garages. People are going to want those fixed up. If you think it's an afterthought, the buyer is not going to think it's an afterthought. So this pool right here, Rob can show you the video before, this had an enclosure all the way around it. So this was an enclosed pool, and all of this concrete was here. So we had one of 2 options. We could have filled this in with dirt and concreted it, and now you have this massive random concrete pad in the back of your house. Could be okay, but not. You would have a bunch of random lines in it, or you can fix the pool up. So we opted here. One, we had to rip the pool off. You just have to budget for these ancillary items, and it's expensive. So we ripped it off, we rebuilt the entire exterior of this house, and we're gonna be redoing this pool. So we're in the middle of it right now. That's what they've been doing down here. They're prepping the concrete, they're running their pumps. This is gonna cost us $10,000 to do all this right here. So if you don't budget for that stuff, your budgets and your profit margins are gonna fly off the shelf. I love walking through the mud like this. It's fucking crazy. Reason number 4, how you can and will lose money are your neighbors. So if you're not looking at your neighbors' properties, the way they take care of them, if the house is beat up, if they've got cars up on blocks, this can definitely hinder you from selling this house. You could have the most beautiful house in the world. It could be the best house on the block, but if your neighbors' houses look terrible, it's gonna be really hard to sell that house to a nice family. So this house right behind me was the same owner. They have probably 40 dumpsters worth of trash in the house and in the yards. What we're planning on maybe doing here is cleaning, it's vacant, we might clean up the yard and push it back, so when buyers come to this house, they don't see the wreck that's there. It's definitely going to be a hindrance. So you have to look at these things, you have to understand, and those things can and will lose you money. Now, off to number 5. And reason number 5 on why you would lose money on a house like this is holding costs. So if you're raising money like we do for your projects, this time to do all of these things, we've already been done with the inside of this house for like a month, but getting the pool people on schedule, it's winter time right now, getting the pool people on schedule, the well and septic drilled, the neighbors, all of these things have probably added another 2 or 3 months. If you're adding permits to your projects, that stuff will add a lot of time. And on this project right here, like I said, we bought it for 180, I believe. We're gonna put 165 probably into it. So we're at 345 all in. Let's say that's my loan amount. At 12%, that's $41,000 for the year, divided by 12. So every month that I hold this, I'm paying my lenders $3,500. We probably bought this house 6 months ago, so I'm gonna pay $20,000 at least to my lender. So every month that goes by, every day that goes by, you're spending money. So that's a big lesson, not just on this house, but on every house that you wanna flip. Time is really money when it comes to these things. So make sure you're budgeting, you're being extremely conservative with your timelines. And if you're running into houses on some acreage, and they're not that normal of a home, make sure you're adding more time to it. Because at the end of the day, I don't want you to lose money, and I'm assuming that's why you follow me and you like the real side of real estate. And that right there is the real side of real estate. If you like videos like this, if you wanna learn how to flip houses, if you wanna learn how to actually become a professional real estate investor and not make the mistakes that I've done over the years, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and consider joining the real side of real estate community. I mentor people just like you watching this video, take their business to the next level, get their first deal or their 100th deal. That link will be down in the show notes as well. Book a call. It'll be with my business partner, Andy, or my success manager, Jared, and we'll take care of you. I'm excited to talk to you and see you on the inside. Let's get it.